So, having had a nice relaxing time out with the good lady, the ex-whale, come back home and investigating the IC705 issues I experienced earlier. Trying to eliminate the problems as I go along. So in this scenario, I've replaced the Alex loop with a with my NPED in this case, because I've got it on a switch here, and then I'm using a WinCamp connector to go into the IC705. That's just working perfectly fine on 10 watts. Power supply is from transformer, but it shows the 705 and its USB interface is working correctly because the software is working, it's transmitting out and it's not disconnecting. So we can rule out on this, we can rule out settings on the 705, the USB cable, which is the original one from ICOM, and the radio itself. We know that's good now. This is on 40 meters with 10 watts, so I've not got a hit quite yet, but yeah, getting out. The most important thing is the error I saw earlier, where the, oh, here we go, look at that now. Someone in the Netherlands, PD4RP, has come back. So what I've proven here is that the radio and the USB cable are fine. So I now need to go back and look at, I think I need to change the laptop over. That will then find out if it's the laptop that's causing the problem, because that's also new since I last been out, and then see where I'll go from there. But yeah, good progress, good I think methodical steps here in terms of reducing the errors. I'll see if I can't have this QSO, but yeah, happy so far. But yeah, main thing is the 705 is okay. So left 705 where it is, same antenna, just moved over to the laptop. As you can see, it's pulling in signals, no problem whatsoever. And now let's give it a try. The problem I had earlier was when I clicked on tune, it would drop the connection. It would say no audio device, then drop. The noise would come up on the computer and then drop. So let's give it a try. So let's click tune. So we've got definitely got a signal going out. We've got a nice low SWR because we're going into the NPED antenna here at the QTH. LC's a little bit high, but yeah, that's definitely working. So we know the computer seems to be okay. I certainly don't get that what I had earlier was, you have to excuse the FT8, apologies, but I don't get that noise I had earlier. When I was moving the mouse pad, I was getting some kind of noise, with like RF feedback. Kind of like electrical feedback. I don't know if you say it was RF, but there was definitely some, when I went near the mouse, there was definitely some noise coming back into the transceiver, which made me think it was a USB cable. But I think now we have definitively said, so let's just try and get a contact and see. That will be the most important thing, just to make sure we can make a contact with this radio with its configuration as it is on the transceiver in its configuration, and then we've eliminated the computer being a problem, then the USB cable being a problem, the 705 being a problem, and the antenna being a problem. So it'll be like, let's have a look and see what's up with the Alex loop. I think will be the next thing, but I'm going to try and make a contact first just to make sure, I'll keep an eye on PSK Reporter as well. I expect, get that to update in a few minutes, and see how we go. But I'm happy with the progress here. At least now it's not hanging, and it's not giving me that audio issue that I was getting earlier. This is more like what I'd expect to see, or should have seen this morning when I went out on my field trip. So let's keep going. So, I found sake on the Alex loop. I'll get to that in a moment. Good thing is, even from this very compromised QTH environment, running the laptop, into the 705 and into the Alex loop, I was able to have a QSO with PH7R in the Netherlands. So, the issue I was having earlier, where the audio will just the transceiver dropping out, that's been eliminated. Now, I think the reason for that was something that I'd noticed earlier, but I hadn't really thought it'd cause a problem, was, looking at it now, it makes perfect sense. But then it's kind of like finding the problem to understand it. There is a little cut. Let's take this off for now. I think it's quite tricky. But anyway, where this loop goes onto the top of the Alex loop, I originally fitted it and it caught just a tiny little bit. And there was a very, very small hole. During the course of maybe in the last 2 or 3 hours, I must have made that hole slightly bigger, and enough that the insulation on the coax, the outer insulation on the coax, was directly getting out of the shielding and straight into the. So with a mag loop, you've got these 2 parts, haven't you? So you've got like the outer loop and the inner loop. So I'm thinking that with the coax compromised, the inner loop was receiving the signal, directly from the loop. So there's something wrong there. So all I've done is just put a tiny bit of tape, very strong tape, I have to say, onto the loop where that little hole was, and then it started working again. So I'm hoping it makes sense that I'm hoping that's what the problem was. So I think the question now will be to head back out again and give it another try. But I'll also carry some tape around in the future as well. I don't want to go out with a whole toolkit. I've probably got some tape in my bongo, to be quite honest, because like electrical tape and master bongos, you've always got something that could potentially go wrong. Digging a hole for myself there, but anyway, I think that is the problem, and I'm hoping that has remedied it by putting this little bit of tape, very strong tape around the outer shielding. But yeah, there we go. I'll hopefully get back out on Parks on the Air, hopefully tomorrow. Let's see what we're doing, what we got planned. But yeah, it'll be nice to get back to that park. It was absolutely beautiful there. So and get back out with the Alex loop and see how we go. There we go. Good for now. 705's good. Laptop's good. Alex loop looks okay. So let's go from there.